Chris coming at you from Sayulita, Mexico here. Short-term rentals, want to talk to you about that a little bit today. They've got the same issues here that we're seeing all over the world, any nice place anyway. A lot of expats come, a lot of people with money. They want to buy real estate in the best areas, Vancouver, Kelowna being no different. There is a huge tourism demand, it drives up everything, and everyone benefits. And then it becomes very, very expensive for people to live here. You know, just like in Vancouver or Kelowna, no place for the workers to live, no place for someone who's making minimum wage working at a restaurant to live. But what they do in a left economy, in a left government, is the government gets involved and they throw in all sorts of rules and regulations to try and police this. What's going to end up happening in Vancouver, I can guarantee you, is there's already a huge shortage of short-term rental accommodations. Hotel prices are already too high. People aren't coming to Vancouver because of that. And what do tourists do? All they do is they come in and they spend lots of money. And that lifts all the businesses in the areas, all the service businesses, certainly. And that benefits everyone. So it creates more jobs. It creates more economy. It's needed. If you make it so that it's so unaffordable that people can't stay in short-term rentals and the hotels are $1,000 a night because there's not enough of them, people just aren't going to come. They're not going to spend their money. If they did that here in Sayulita, if they got rid of all the short-term rentals that are near the beach, it would be a disaster. Yes, people would be able to afford to live here. Short-term, rentals would go bye-bye. The long-term ones would take over. People would be able to afford to live right by the beach, but there'd be nowhere for them to work. The tourism industry would dry up, and there would be nowhere for anyone to work, so it would be really irrelevant. And fortunately, they don't do that in places like this. The government doesn't get too involved. They do in places like BC, and we're going to see what happens. Just watch over the next few years what happens to hotel prices and what happens to the tourism numbers when there's nowhere for them to stay if the government pushes through with all this kind of draconian legislation on short-term rentals. So it's a drop in the bucket. It's not going to make a big difference. The vacancy rates are still going to be tight. Too many people coming in, not enough supply being built. But let's see what happens.